drop below 10,000. We're below 10,000. Uh-oh, it's a disaster. I'm just joking. Okay, but here's the deal, man. I believe that we need to lighten up the pressure. You know, relax, take it easy. All of this is just a result of people panicking and overreacting. And I know they're talking about the double dip and everything. But when you look at the big picture, even if there is a double dip, so to speak, it's not going to be a true double dip in which everything that was going right is going to then turn around and go in the opposite direction. Only certain parts of the economy may have to dip back down. And how could it not? I mean, not that it necessarily is automatic will do it, but I don't see how anyone would be surprised if it does happen when you look at all the money that was thrown into the economy as artificial stimulation. Well, I mean, what do you expect when all of that runs out? And then you look at all the policy changes and legislation that's passed and the reforms. I mean, that's going to lead to people not being able, on top of the stimulation, which is presents a false reality. On top of that, you got a bunch of policy changes, which means you can't figure out what in the world to expect down the road. So, you know, obviously, there's going to be a lag in things going back in a positive direction. But the main deal is the census jobs. And of course, when they ran out, the people stopped working. Well, here's my speculation. And it's reaching. But you'll have to, I mean, I'm looking at the big picture and based on the common man and the mentality of people I've seen that represents the common man. And so I know a lot of y'all investors and everything may not necessarily be in touch with the mind of the common man. And so you probably taking the things a little too serious, a little more deep than you need to. But again, here's my speculation. Census jobs are over. Probably a good third of the people who were doing the census, working the census, as soon as they finished, it was done until they spent all that money up. You know, it's time to take a break now. I've been working, I'm taking a break. Another good portion of them probably felt that it was useless of trying to find a job after that was over, because when they got the job, everything was in poor condition. You know, so they finished working with the census, and they just went and sat down and took a break, wait to hear the news so things getting better. And then, of course, another portion, they might have went out and tried to find a job. Well, shortly after the census jobs was over, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of movement in the unemployment rate. And the numbers started going down a little bit. And then we started talking about the economy picking up a little bit. And then employment picked up a little bit. But then it started tapering off. But by then, we had several reports of how there was less job loss. And so now you got the people who are sitting at home who were working not too long ago, mainly a portion of the census workers. But a lot of the people that were sitting at home, they're feeling like things are getting better. We're talking about the economy starting to rebound and everything. So how about the higher number of employment now represents the people that's going back out there starting to look for work again. So if that's the case, then all the hysteria about, oh my God, the employment numbers are going back up again. This is not what we wanted. This is not what we wanted to see. Maybe it's because it's people that have hope and are going back out into the job market, and so now they're being counted, and that's why the numbers are high, which is the opposite of the message that you're trying to put out. Well, not that it's the opposite of the message that the media is trying to report, which is things are ugly, things are looking bad, it's not what we wanted to see. Well, if the numbers are higher as a result of people having hope and therefore going out trying to find a job again, then it's not a negative message in the is not a negative number. It's actually representing a positive thing. If people are more positive about the direction of the economy, then that's a good thing. But with the media presenting it in that way, now you're going to turn around and reverse the total positivity, and people going to start feeling negative about the economy again. And there you go. Now, once that report comes out, and then people like you, investors, are listening to this ridiculous angle on the reporting without speaking of the full picture, since a lot of people won't think for themselves, they just listen to the way things are reported. Now you, Mr. Investor, you go out and act upon what the media has stated in the way that they stated it, and on your speculation of how people will react to the media, basically your peers who are also holding a lot of money and want to invest. Now you go out there and try to beat them to selling because you think they're going to sell because of what the media said, and you sell your stocks. Now when you do this and your buddies do this, trying to beat each other on what the market is going to do tomorrow as a result of the news today, guess what happens? The stock market goes down. Hello? Basically what I'm telling you is that you are creating the hysteria that you are afraid of. You are creating this environment of instability. You are creating the doubt. You are creating the turmoil in the market. You are the ones who is responsible to the fluctuation. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Now, you because you got the money and you want you're buying and selling. Then of course, the short sellers, they're trying to take advantage of the fluctuation, which, the only reason they're able to take advantage of the fluctuation is because you are buying and selling, trying to beat out your buddy. When, if you look at the big picture, things are not as bad as they are presented. So when you take that into account, then, okay, take the day. The stock market has dropped below 10,000. Now it's the perfect time to buy and just let the money sit there. Because I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but if you look at the United States of America, do you mean to tell me you think in 5 years from now that we will not have fully recovered? And no, I'm not talking about reaching back up to 14,000. If we get there, we get there. But if we don't, 14,000 should never be a target. I don't know why I don't know why our current state of the economy is being compared to the height of the market, since the height of the market was never based on true value. So it shouldn't have been there. And for us to make comparisons to where we are and where the height of the market was is ridiculous. Because if we were to return back to the height of the market tomorrow, the situation would still be that it's a false value represented, which means a bubble, which means being in no better shape and inevitably facing a recession again. So the height of the market is not it's not our target. You know what I'm saying? But as long as we allow things to ride out and build up at a reasonable, slow pace based on people being able to figure out what's the best move for them to make after the new laws and reforms have trickled through the system, so they can know what type of effect it's going to have on. When we wait until people make decisions and make moves after evaluating that, and then the growth we have in the economy is something that people can take seriously and know that it's a true representation of the value in the economy and behind all the businesses that are being traded on, And that's what's up. And as far as real estate, look at real estate. They keep crying about, of course there's foreclosures and everything, this, that, and the other. But you're only talking about the negative part of the story. And no report is done about since there is so much property available and prices are so low and undervalued, yes, undervalued, but the value of the property has not truly gone down to what it is, what the number says. Just like it never truly went up to what the number said. That's just a number that's just the perceived value based on the state of the economy. When things play out and get back situated to where stability is the mindset of the average person, then the value returns to what the true value is. So when you buy a house today that is undervalued, then just talking about how many people are being foreclosed on, which means they have nowhere to go, and a lot of them are working, and then you can provide those people with a rental, and if you're not so greedy, then you could give a person somewhere to stay that already is facing money problems, charging for less than rent that they can go anywhere else at, and it don't hurt you any because you got the property for 40% off, 50% off, 60% off. So your loan is not that much. I mean, it's a win-win situation. Now, that person has nowhere else to go. You're giving them a deal that they couldn't imagine. They got a roof over their head. You got property that's occupied, that's paying for itself. You're likely to have a tenant that's going to stay there, that's going to pay the bill, and that's going to keep your property up because they're not going to find a deal like that again. But no. We so worried about the market is not going to stay where it is. And I'm so timid that I think, I don't know, maybe houses are going to lose their value all the way to zero. So I don't know what. I just don't understand it, man. I just don't understand all the negativity, man. I just don't get it. There's so much opportunity. You got where you are by taking risks, You got where you are by recognizing opportunity and acting on it. Why in the world are people so, well, I know. Look, you got to stop being so self-centered and worried about, looking at things in a superficial way. When you look at the big picture, this is the United States of America, filled with great, bright people who will, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, start paying attention to what's going on and start participating and demanding that the right type of people represent them and making the right decisions on their behalf. And things are going to be all right, baby. America is going to be all right, baby. Huh? It's going to be all right. So I'm telling you to calm down because you're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy with all this worrying about what the market's going to do tomorrow and the double-dip recession. And, if I invest, am I going to lose all my money? Nah, y'all creating the fluctuation that you're seeing now. Calm down. Sit down somewhere. Buy some real estate. Rent it out to people that need somewhere to stay. Stop playing. Let me manage your money, man. Let me manage your money. Huh? Just do that, why don't you? Crazy.